two asses so he could fart in stereo. Here's Howard Stern.
Let me bring in this guy, and then I'll tell you about the weekend. I want to hear what happened to you.
Okay.
And then I want to get to the phone calls, too.
I have to ask you something about lesbians. You seem to be an expert on lesbians.
Right.
Because in Queer as Folk,
yeah,
it seems that with lesbians, there's a lot of attention to the breasts.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. Because what are they going to do?
I don't know.
I mean, they have it's hours and hours of foreplay. You know, when I'm with a woman... But seriously, when you're with a woman, you know, you oh, here's the guy. Wait a second. Never mind lesbian stuff. We got to talk to this guy.
Sorry about that.
This gentleman is... No, I guess you're not going to give me his name. Are you not announcing your name?
No.
She's smart. No. Oh, I see. This is your name O.R.?
Right.
Oh, okay. O.R.
O.R.
That's unusual that you would have just the initials O.R. Do you have your parents named you O.R.?
My name is Ora Ray Adams Jr. My first name was spelled by my initials.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
O.R. Adams.
Oh, O-R-A, Aura.
Aura. Oh, I see. O-R-A, Adams. O.R. Adams' book, As We Sodomize America, The Homosexual Movement and the Decline of Morality in America.
Well, maybe he can answer the question of breasts.
What is your question about breasts?
Well, with lesbians, they see, you know, in the TV show, they seem to concentrate a lot on the breast. Is that what
because
lesbians do?
There's no finish. There's no natural finish. I mean, they just have a lot of foreplay for hours, right, O.R.?
Well, I'm not familiar with that part of it. I've seen them in parades and everything.
Yeah, right.
Only in parades.
So anyway, all right, O.R., you've written a book. I personally
have we seen this book? Where did you get this book?
Well, I'll give you the phone number, and I'll tell you where to go. You got to go to winepresspub.com, but I'll also give you a phone number you can call. But why is everybody so upset about gays? I don't get upset. I am 100% man, as you know.
O.R., why did the gays bother you?
Yeah, why do the gays bother you? Are you afraid you might be gay?
No.
Go ahead.
The reason it bothers me is I think that we're in a sick country when people see nothing wrong with depraved acts of homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
I particularly...
Are you a super religious guy?
No.
No?
Don't heterosexuals sometimes commit depraved acts?
That's right. All homosexuals aren't perverts.
Right.
But all perverts aren't homosexuals. All homosexuals are perverts.
Oh. Well, where are you? You know, here's the deal to me. Like I got a cousin who's gay, right? And he's got like a life mate. The two of them seem happier than any heterosexual married couple. They don't cheat on each other. They're very loving toward one another. They seem to really love one another. I go, you know, no, who cares? I mean, they love each other.
Let them have their...
They never bother anyone. They're not raping young boys or anything like that.
Relationship.
Who cares?
A lot of them do.
Yeah. Well, a lot of heterosexuals rape young boys, too. I mean,
and
you know,
girls and everybody else.
I mean, there's a lot of pervs in our country. There's no question about it. And that's something's got to be done about people who abuse children. But I'm talking about... Who cares? Tell me the premise.
Two adults who love each other come together.
You say the decline of morality in America.
I think that's a sick use of the word love to start out with.
You think if two people just love each other? What if two guys just like really care about each other?
He's saying that isn't even love, Howard.
No, you're saying it's not love.
No, I don't think that desecrating your own body and someone else's has anything to do with love.
Really?
I think two men can have love for each other,
right?
But upright,
like they like they fight for each other on the battlefield and things of that nature.
Yeah. So,
but wait a minute. Let's say a heterosexual couple love to engage in water play, let's say, and anal play, and these are what you would consider depraved acts, are they not?
What, anal sex? Anal sex between men?
A man and a woman. A man and a woman.
Oh, a man and a woman. How do you stand on anal sex between a man and a woman?
Well, I don't think any kind of unnatural act of that kind is good for people to engage in.
Right.
However, I think you're overlooking the whole thing.
What's that? What are we overlooking?
In my book, I cover the 8 most common acts that homosexuals engage in.
Right.
How do you know so much?
You know a little too much.
Studied it.
Go ahead.
for 7 years.
Did you ever get turned on studying it?
Well, how do you study it?
No, you sure? All right. Go. How do you study it? It is right. And you came to and after you looked at it, you said it was filthy and disgusting.
Where would you find this? How did he study it?
All right. How did you study the 8 most disgusting acts?
Well, I read about 20 books. I viewed more than a dozen videotapes.
Right.
And
gay tapes?
I taped some things, a lot of them were.
You viewed gay tapes?
Why?
Then I taped some of the things.
I don't even view those.
I also ordered some gay books because I think if I'm going to
write
about something, I ought to know something about it.
Right.
And
what you people are overlooking is, and it's quite obvious that you're from the liberal slant, but
yes and no.
You're not considering how vile these acts are by which they get their classification. Number 2, this is being taught all over the country.
Taught?
Yes, taught to children.
To tolerate gay people.
No, not to tolerate it.
To teach the sex acts.
Teach them that there's nothing wrong with these things. Not only that, they actually introduce them to some of these acts and encourage it.
In school, they're introducing the kids to gay sex?
In colleges.
You're kidding me.
Let's close the colleges.
What school? Name a school that teaches gay sex and has kids engage in it in front of the kids.
My book has a number of references to it.
Really?
Let me ask one other question.
I never heard of a school allowing any sexual activity.
What else has OR studied and published about?
I didn't say they allowed sexual activity. I said they're taught these things and encouraged to engage in it by being told nothing's wrong with it.
Really? Well, let me ask you this.
What else has he studied? I mean, what are his credentials to have studied anything and pronounced it?
Are you a doctor of some kind?
I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer.
Oh.
And I'm familiar with evidence and how to research.
So I'm sure a lot of people come down on you for this book because you're anti-homosexual.
Wait a minute. Let me ask another question, because usually if you want your research to be valid, you have to start off with a premise.
Right.
And then try to prove it.
Yeah.
That's basically what research is.
Yeah.
Is your premise that it's wrong and then you prove that it's wrong?
No.
What is your premise?
My premise was to find out about what I was writing about.
Right. So now
you thought homosexuality was wrong before you started picking up the pen.
Well, any natural person who knows what homosexual acts are, in my opinion, would think it's wrong. I think there's something wrong with someone who doesn't.
Well, what about?
Let's go into.
Let me ask you. What do you suggest? What do you suggest? But what do you? Okay, we'll go to a specific act in a second.
Yeah.
What do you suggest we do with homosexuals? Do you want to kill them?
Of course not.
What do you want to do to them? I mean, they're just trying to live their lives, aren't they?
My book is as much for homosexuals as it is other people.
It is. Now, don't you think if somebody reads this who's homosexual is going to feel bad about themselves? You're making them aren't they born this way?
They should know they're not born
They're taught this behavior?
So you think actually you can recruit people into homosexuality?
See, I know I'm heterosexual. You could show me 50,000 pictures of guys doing each other. I could never go that way. I'm just not that way.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. I had one towel whipping incident, but I don't want to talk about that here. Have you ever had a homosexual act done to you? Not by force? Did anybody try to rape you as a kid or molest you?
No.
Nothing like that. All right.
Did you ever have a towel snapping or a
towel snapping incident?
Sword fight?
I don't think so. So you never had anybody have a homosexual act with you, even against your will?
That's right.
Right. And you've never looked at another man and said, maybe I like this guy.
But
never
do you think if you were a young man in school today, do you think that you could be recruited into homosexual acts because of the open nature of today's society? Is that what you're saying?
No way you could be recruited.
Well,
you can't teach me to be. You can't teach me to be gay.
You people are talking about something you really don't know about.
You're
should
right.
read this book.
Damn right I don't. Right, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. You have the 8 ways to what? 8 ways of depravity?
The 8 depraved things.
Yeah, what is that? Tell me the 8 depraved things they do. All right. Lay it out for us.
All gays do this stuff?
Remember.
All right, see if you can remember. Here, he's got a book. He's got a bag full of gay stuff.
Does it, if you only do 4 of the things, are you depraved or?
What gay movies did you watch to do research?
Yeah, what are your favorites?
Yeah, what gay movies did you actually? You sat through the whole thing?
The movies that I watched were
porno.
Miss Congeniality.
parades.
No one can sit there and miscontinue.
Oh, he watched the parade.
You saw a gay parade?
I have one here.
That'll turn anybody off.
You saw a gay parade?
What?
You saw the gay parade? Is that what you did?
Well, I've seen a number of them.
You have.
Why did you get interested in gays?
Yeah, you're consumed with gays, I think.
No, that's not true.
I don't sit and watch a gay parade.
Why did you get interested in gays?
What did you learn from watching a gay parade?
How they act.
You did. And what did they do?
One of the things they do.
What did you see in the gay parade that disturbed you?
Well,
Ooh, that's a thick book.
Yeah.
I see nakedness, and people simulating homosexual acts.
Right.
And actually, I would say that some of them were engaging in homosexual acts in public.
In the parade?
In public, I said, while the parade was going on.
Really?
Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
Yeah. Mardi Gras heterosexuals do that too.
What?
If you go down to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, you'll see heterosexuals doing the same thing.
Maybe you don't see anything wrong with it, you see.
I don't think you should have sex in public. I do. But I don't. I'm telling you, heterosexuals are doing the same thing.
Well, that's wrong too.
Yeah.
Not everyone's. No one believes with any sense that heterosexuals do everything that's right either.
So what am I supposed to do about all this gay stuff? What should I do? What is your book? Does your book call for action?
What I would like to see is some morality come back to this country.
How do you make that happen?
The way you make that happen is pay attention to our conventional values that this country had for 200 years before we got into this downtrend.
So what do you want to do with these gays who are having, let's say you see a gay guy having sex or holding hands with another guy.
Is he saying that homosexuals...
Let's say you see a guy holding hands with another guy in public. What should we do? Should we put him in jail? I mean, let's get real. How are we going to change this behavior? What is your recommendation?
I don't think that anyone should be put in jail unless they're convicted of sodomy.
But you would like everybody to go back into the closet, is what you're saying? Because 200 years ago, they were still homosexuals.
See, I got a point of view on this. If you make homosexuals so uncomfortable about being gay, which is really what your book is suggesting, we're saying, hey guys, I don't like this homosexuality. Homosexuals are depraved. That would make people less likely to come out of the closet. Now, let me tell you what happens when people don't come out of the closet. They end up marrying our daughters.
You got kids, OR?
I got 3 daughters. And when you got gay guys who are made to feel so bad about being gay, they try to pass for straight, and they marry women, and the women's lives are ruined, the men's lives are ruined. I like that people are coming out of the closet. I like that people don't care if they're gay or straight.
But I think OR's
that's because you people have a different point of view than
yes, I'm at the same place you are. But why do you want to make people feel bad about themselves?
Because if they don't realize what they're doing is wrong, they're not going to get help. And a lot of people leave the homosexuality.
They do. I've never seen them successfully do it. I know what you're talking about. There are places you can go where they try to deprogram you.
They have about a 30% success rate.
Do they?
That's not very high.
No, and I don't think it's that. I think a lot of them just pretend to be straight, but they're still fantasizing about other men.
Well, there are some things.
Have you actually seen a converted homosexual? Why don't you bring one with you?
Yes, I've been on a radio show with a couple of them.
Really? And you believe them? They still act very fruity.
They still act effeminate.
They still act very fruity.
That's not true. In fact, not all homosexuals act like you're talking about at all.
Right.
Some of them are very macho.
They're like Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson.
You people keep dodging what we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about, let me tell you.
Yeah, tell me something.
I think something is wrong if they see nothing wrong. I think something wrong with a person who sees nothing wrong with another person sucking a person's piss and swallowing his.
Women do that with men.
Yeah, every girl does it. At least the girls I know.
So you see nothing wrong with a man doing that to another
man? No, I don't care. Don't bother me with it.
See, I do.
You have
also, I see something wrong with them rolling in excrement, eating. That's one of the things they do.
But they're a pervert.
Being picked on by other people.
Right.
See nothing wrong with that.
Nothing. And I'll tell you why I don't.
Okay.
If they're doing it to each other, in the privacy of their home, I don't care if they shoot each other,
All
as
right.
long as they don't bother me.
Then that includes incest too, doesn't it?
No.
I know. I never go for incest.
Well, why not?
Well,
Because that's not two
if you
consenting
said
adults
that's not
necessarily.
consent. That's not consent.
true. A lot of incest.
Well, if a brother and sister are 21 years old and want to engage in that, it's none of my
Yeah,
business.
let them go
All
do
right,
it.
so you see nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
All right, we'll be back right after these words.